What's going on, guys? It's your boy Send It Sim Racing, aka the Retro Dynamo, back with another video. And today we're going to be doing something a little different. After some consultation with some trusted sim racers in the community, I've come to the conclusion that it was time to give up Forza Motorsport in favor of a more realistic sim in Assetto Corsa. This is the original game, and I decided to go with this one first because of the opportunity to use road cars and have a lot of cars that I can actually use my stick shift and my 3-pedal setup. I do plan to play Assetto Corsa Competizione, as I have purchased that also, as I've decided to cross-play both paddle shifters and the stick shift. And this is because at some point I would like to understand how the GT cars work in case, for whatever reason, the gods bless me with the opportunity to ever be able to drive one. I can at least say that I understand the pedal shifting in the braking zones and how to use the pedals versus the shifter. But with that being said, today we're going to be jumping into some gameplay. This is my very first gameplay on Assetto Corsa. And I jumped right into the career mode. As you can see, this sedan looking car, this is not the sexiest piece of equipment I can be driving, but I decided to jump right in the competition in a career mode to kind of learn. This is a crash course. I've had no practice yet, and I'm just gonna jump in and see what we can do. So stay tuned. Tell me what you guys think. So I'm starting in the back of the pack, no surprise there. But I am excited about this new journey and switching over from Forza Motorsport to Assetto Corsa, because after talking to some people, you know, I did realize that it may be time for me to make this switch. Mostly because I'm excited for Project Motor Racing, and I think that switching over to a more realistic sim would prepare me better for this. And I was satisfied with the difference in the realism and the turning in Assetto Corsa versus Forza Motorsport. I noticed that even when I made mistakes, they felt more authentic to, you know, what's realistic in a car. Because as I've said before, I am a professional truck driver. I'm not a race car driver by any means, but I do understand the way vehicles are supposed to behave under certain conditions, and I think that Assetto Corsa captures that better than Forza Motorsport did. But all in all, you know, I did enjoy my time on Forza, but I'm excited about Assetto Corsa. And as you guys can see, the learning curve is no easier because I'm behind this CPU. They are completely leaving me. I'm struggling to keep up, and later, what I found out later in this race is that mostly what I was doing wrong was I would downshift into a low gear when I shouldn't have. You know, a lot of times I could have stayed in a higher gear, like third gear, for example, but I was shifting down to second to make certain turns when I didn't have to. And after some research, because I've been doing a lot of research and studying racing, I mean, I fell in love with racing all over again, so I wanted to know all about it. And I found out that you don't want to downshift so much, especially when you don't have to, because staying in the high gear, if you can, helps you maintain more speed throughout the entire track, if that makes sense. You know, you want to maintain as much speed as you can throughout the track, and staying in the higher gear can help you do that. And I found that out later in the race, and you guys will see I started to close the distance when I implemented this strategy. But the beginning of this race was rough because I did not implement this strategy, and I paid for it. As you guys can see, I can't even see the competition at this point. They are long gone. But let me know what you guys think about Project Motor Racing, though. I'm very curious. Are you guys excited? I'm excited for the cross-play capability. You know, the fact that whether you have an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a PC, that all these players will be able to play together. And I was surprised that more people in the community weren't as excited as I thought they would be. Being brand new to the sim racing community, I would have thought that the hardcore long-term fans would have been excited about being able to finally play with the different consoles, because just think about over the years how many sim racers never actually played each other. You know, the percentages of people that, you know, have never played with each other. So I'm very excited about that. And I've also been watching a lot of content about people have these different leagues where it's not so much like a racing league where everybody races all the time, but have you guys ever seen those leagues where people do it in a broadcasting way, almost like they put on their own events that you can watch from like a third person view, almost like they're recreating a television broadcast of a race. And I think it's cool, and I would like to be a part of that, something like that eventually. And as you guys can see, I still can't see these guys. I still haven't caught up to them. So obviously I still haven't caught on to the fact that I'm not maintaining my speed yet. But at some point I will catch them, I promise. You won't go the entire video with me racing by myself. But yeah, I would like to know also from you guys, what do you guys think about the sim racing community? Because I'm very interested, being brand new, that more people aren't trying to race with each other, or it doesn't bother most people that they play a certain game and they're not, and everybody else don't play the same game. I'm wondering if people just find the game they like and they kind of stick to it. I'm more so would like to play a game that has the biggest cross-play potential. I would like to play with the biggest pool of players, even other YouTubers. I would like to play with these guys that I watch all the time, like Super GT, James Baldwin, Sammy Snake. There's a lot of them. There's also a team that I race with, or a community that I race with on the weekends. They're called Grim Legion Gaming. And his channel is Forza Motorsport, so I met him playing Forza Motorsport. But those guys welcomed me in, and I'm just so thankful, because I was a brand new racer, and with no experience, I was completely terrible. And I'm still terrible, by the way. As you guys can tell, I'm still a pretty terrible driver. But those guys welcomed me in with open arms and allowed me to race with them on the weekend. So check those guys out, Grim Legion Gaming. Give those guys check those guys out, But I'm starting to close the distance now. At some point while I was rambling, I figured out that I need to maintain my speed. So that's a good thing. And eventually I will close the distance. But this car is not what I'm used to or what I really like to drive. Of course, you guys know I'm all American. I love an all American muscle, and I'm looking to get in a Mustang as soon as possible, or possibly a Corvette. I would love to compete in those types of cars, Mustangs and Corvettes. But I guess with this career mode, you have to crawl before you can walk, so they put me in this spaceship of a car, and not in a good way. I don't mean like the fast spaceships, the UFOs that you can barely see. I mean like a slow lugging, this just a tortoise of a spaceship that kind of creeps through space. They don't even have a hyper speed. That's what this car is. It doesn't have warp speed or anything like that. But I am closing in on this car, and I'll catch him soon enough, hopefully. As you guys can see, I am maintaining the speed now. Like at the beginning of the race, I would have took that corner in second and completely killed my speed. But now I'm starting to learn that there is a time and a place to actually drop all the way down to second versus staying in third. And I'm catching up to these cars as a result of it. I just completely send it here, and I make some contact with this car because, as you guys can tell, I know you guys can understand that I'm excited to be back in the pack. So I am taking some chances now. I want to at least advance one spot before the end of this race. And I think this is a five lap race. So here, surprisingly, I take a couple spots. And right now I'm just giving it everything I have right now, man. I'm just trying to get as many spots as I can, because I think that I'm close to the end of this race. And I don't know if these guys are slowing down or I'm speeding up. Leave in the comments, guys. Let me know what's happening, because this is my very first time playing Assetto Corsa. Am I getting faster, or are they slowing down? I have no clue. But I'm excited nonetheless. As I move past this car, well, I'm not moving past this car, but I am, I'm hounding him right now, trying to get as close as I can. The plan is to pass him, but don't think that's going to happen. I'm excited about the positions that I did gain, though. And hopefully, and that was the end of the race. At some point, we crossed the finish line that I didn't know, and I finished sixth, which is surprising. I didn't think that sixth place would be where I finished. I thought that it would be much, I would finish much higher than sixth place with the amount of places that I passed a few cars. So let me know what happened here. I need you guys to help me out. Again, I'm brand new to this. I need you guys to help me out. But this has been the latest episode. Well, my first race in my career mode. I think I'm going to make this an ongoing series. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm excited to be here. And again, let me know what you guys think about Project Motor Racing. And stay tuned for the next episode, guys. And remember, if you want to win it, then you have to
sin